Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, Passover, and of course, Hanukkah. Ask anyone on the street to name some Jewish holidays, and those are probably the most common answers you'll get. But what about Shavuot? Ever heard of that one? Not everyone has. But don't be fooled. Shavuot, while not as well known, easily makes it into the top 5 list of biblical holidays. Let's begin where everything Jewish begins, in the Torah. And you shall count for yourselves from the morrow of the rest day, which means the first day of Passover, 7 weeks. And that's it. That's all the Torah tells us about why we celebrate Shavuot. Really? Okay, I guess I was just expecting something a little more, exciting. No miracles, no prophecies, no wicked genocidal tyrants. I mean, I know Shavuot is a Yom Tov, a festival in which work is forbidden, kind of like Shabbat. And I know there's a big deal about attending services on the first morning and accustomed to eat cheesecake and other dairy foods to celebrate the day. But what does all of that have to do with this 7 weeks passage? And what exactly are we celebrating anyway? To figure this one out, we need to go to the Talmud, where the rabbis fill us in with an important clue. Shavuot is celebrated after 7 weeks from the first night of Passover. And we know that Passover is all about the Exodus from Egypt, right? That's an easy one. So all we need to know is what happened to the Jewish people 7 weeks after they left Egypt. The answer is only the greatest, most significant single event to have ever taken place in Jewish history, hands down. The 10 Commandments. No, not the Charlton Heston movie. The giving of the Torah at Mount Sinai. The voice of God booming from the mountain, the clouds of glory, claps of lightning, flashes of thunder, the blasts of the shofar throwing people back several miles, causing them all to faint on the spot. Now that's more like it. That right there is a Jewish holiday. To really understand why this day is so important, let's set aside the ice cream for a minute and dig into another Shavuot custom. Staying up all night, learning Torah. Why do we do that? Well, as the story goes, the night before the giving of the Torah, our ancestors wanted to be well rested, and so they all got a good night's sleep. Problem was, they slept so well that every one of them, and there were millions of them, showed up late to Mount Sinai the next morning. To fix their mistake, we stay up all that night and study Torah. To make sense of this, let's talk about sleep. When we go to sleep, our souls ascend to heaven and get as close as most of us will ever get to an out-of-body experience. So much so that when we wake up, we recite Modeh Ani, a special prayer thanking God for returning our souls to us in the morning. An out-of-body experience. What better way to prepare for a rendezvous with the Almighty? You would be right, except the Torah isn't just about the Almighty. It's about you. The event at Sinai was all about meeting God here, deeply rooted on planet Earth on our earthly terms. And that's why sleep was the wrong way to prepare. We need to be as awake, alert, and present as possible so that we can port God's presence into our physical, ordinary, corporeal reality. And that is what we celebrate on Shavuot. On this day, God came to be with us on earth. From that day on, he can be found in our ordinary activities, in kindness, in prayer, in Torah study, and even in ice cream, provided that it's kosher, you say a blessing before and after eating it, and you use its energy to serve God and make this world a better place. So every year on Shavuot morning, we head to Shul and listen to the 10 Commandments, allowing their lessons to be etched in our hearts so that the Torah will be a part of our everyday lives throughout the year. Now that is a Jewish holiday.